What's up, guys? Brandon here, and I am back with another action figure review. Today we're taking a look at some brand new figures from the Justice League movie. In front of us we have Hydro Glider Batman, Thermo-Blast Superman, Battle Ready Wonder Woman, and Night Ops Batman. Really excited for these. It looks like they're variants. They are Wave 3 is what I'm going to call it. Taking a look first at Batman, I really dig the gold. Looks very cool on the back of the packaging. We see some of the other figures in the wave. Flash I do not have yet, but hopefully I will soon. It looks like these 4 figures plus the Flash are wave 3 for the Justice League movie. Really digging this Superman. The sculpt is one of my favorites, and I'm excited to have a new heat vision accessory. Looks very cool. Taking a look at Wonder Woman now. Really cool. I love the battle gear. Very cool, very practical, not just a random repaint. I really do like that we get new sculpt work for her. Looks fantastic. And if we take a look at Night Ops Batman, he's a really cool looking one. He's got some translucent blue on him. Looks very cool, and I like the gear. Very cool figure. Alright guys, stay tuned. We're going to get these out of the box and take a closer look. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we have our figures out of the packaging, and I must say they look pretty darn cool. I was not expecting this for repaints. There is some new sculpt work, but overall, to get more figures that we've already previously gotten, they did bring something different. There's a new element to each of these figures. So let's take a look first at the Hydro Glider Batman. I really dig the sculpt work on him, actually. It's all new sculpt work. Except for his face. So you can see they've even, if we come in a little bit closer here, you can see that they did give him some scales, like on his gauntlets and in the belt area, so it looks pretty darn cool. And then if we take a look at his face, it is the similar Batfleck face that we've gotten before. Nothing new there. But other than that, completely new sculpt work. So it is very nice. If we take a look at our Batman figures articulation real quick, we have, let's see if we can get it to focus there. Yes, so we got movement in the head, comes up about that far, down, side to side, movement in the shoulder, comes out, forward, back, movement at the elbow. It also does twist, it has a cut. We have movement in the wrist, it does bend, in and out. We do have waist articulation, no ab crunch, but for a $10 figure, it's pretty good articulation that we're getting. You also have movement in the hip, pretty good, and movement in the knee. The previous Batman figure had a boot cut, this Batman does not. So other than that, it looks like that's going to be the articulation for our Batman figure. If we take a look at Batman's accessories, he comes with these 2 plastic looking things, which I guess are called hydro gliders. I don't know, but there's a couple things to note about them. The first is that they do connect just like that. Pretty cool. So it kind of looks like a jetpack, and yes, it does attach onto his back. It just takes a little bit of prying. The way it's situated with his back, the holes are in the right spot, but getting the jetpack to fit in there is a little tight. So you just have to play with it a little bit. It does work. Looks pretty darn good. Other than that, they do come off. Separately, you can put each in his hand. Not really sure what the gimmick is here. I thought at first maybe these would be rubber plastic pieces that if you put in his hand it would make him float, because I thought that's what they were going for here, but it doesn't look like it. So, but pretty interesting. Some nice, I guess, a nice touch for an accessory, something different that we haven't previously had. So there you go, there's our Hydro Glider Batman. Taking a look now at our Thermo-Blast Superman. He's definitely one of the figures that I was more excited for. Taking a look at that sculpt work first, it is pretty nice. I'm really digging this Superman. The bright blue is different. It's not something we've gotten before. The only thing, unfortunately, on mine, I've got some silver that rubbed off from that S. So mine has a little paint blemish there. Um, Other than that, and I didn't notice it in the store for some reason, so make sure you take a look before you purchase yours. This was the only Superman that they had. And again, these figures are only about $10, so you get what you pay for. I'm definitely just excited to have him, period. But I found these at Target. I know they're selling at Walmart.com as well. For $10, not bad at all, honestly. Moving in the head side to side with our articulation, it looks down pretty good. Moving in the shoulder comes out pretty good. Forward, back. Movement in the elbow. It does have a cut. It does bend out more than it probably should. And we do have movement at the wrist. And it does bend in just a little bit and out just a little bit. We do have waist articulation, which is pretty good. Movement in the knee, the hip area and the knee, and we do have that really awesome boot cut. So overall, pretty good articulation for our Superman figure. Nothing new with the sculpt work. It's exactly the same as the previous Superman we've gotten, but his accessory is different. We get this heat vision. It's broken into two pieces. It connects right here, and then you can put it around his head. The only thing is, this accessory is a little tricky. I think we got it to work though, but it is kind of loose on his head. Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing that you got to work with here. So if you place it just right on his nose, above his ears, then it does work. And I'm just a fan of the heat vision accessory, period, so I am definitely glad that we got this. But that is our Thermo-Blast Superman. Kind of bright retro colors, but overall, he's a cool one. If you see him, you shouldn't hesitate. He's one to get for sure. Taking a look now at Wonder Woman, she's probably going to end up being one of my favorites out of the four. That sculpt work is really, really awesome. She's one of those figures that you could get and line up with your original figures. This is like her battle armor. I really hope we see something like this in the film. Looks very cool, and I really do like that it's kind of the new 52 shade of colors, with the silver, the red, and the blue. So looks pretty cool. Really nice. It's the head sculpt, and then the whole chest torso area is similar to what we've gotten before with the previous Wonder Woman figure. We do have movement in the head side to side. She doesn't look down too much, doesn't look up too much. Of course, it's hindered by her hair. Movement in the shoulder, it's hindered on this side obviously because of her armor, but it does move forward, back. We do have a cut at the elbow, bends in, comes out. Movement in the wrist, comes in and out as well. And then let's see, waist articulation is a go. Yes, we do have waist articulation. And then movement in the hip, comes forward. It's hindered by her skirt a little bit. Movement in the knee. And then that's about it for the articulation on our Wonder Woman figure. But all in all, she is definitely a cool figure. She's one that you can line up with your original figures, no problem, and she blends right in. Her accessories, something a little bit different, a little bit interesting. Honestly, they look like weapons from Apocalypse, like something Calabac would hold. So here they are, the two of them. They have these little pegs in the back. I thought, oh, you can attach it to her back. Doesn't look like it, but what I did notice is you can connect the two pieces together to make a staff, which looks pretty cool. And so what you can do with these pegs, you can have her hold the staff like that, I guess, but that doesn't really make sense to me. I think it's much cooler if you have her hold the staff as a whole, just like that. Make it look like she's a defender, or a guardian or something like that. Having a little trouble getting this to fit in her hand. There we go. It does work. Took some extra effort to do that, but she does look very cool. So her accessories are pretty awesome. Of course, she can hold the staffs individually I prefer that she hold them both together, but it does look very cool. I'm very happy with this Wonder Woman. She's probably going to end up being, like I said before, my favorite out of these four. But she's an awesome one for certain. And now looking at this Night Ops Batman, first thing is first, let's remove that and get a closer look at the sculpt work. He's a cool one in that he is translucent, so I really do like that about him. New sculpt work as well. The only thing that is the same is that head sculpt again, which looks like they're going to be reusing that on most of the Batmans. But he is, if we take a look, you can kind of see that he is translucent, so it looks very cool. If we take a look at the articulation on our Batman figure real quick, we have moving in the head, really tight, but it does move side to side. He does look up about that far, down about that far. Moving in the shoulder, it's hindered because he's got these little shoulder pads here, so it can only go up about that far. Forward, back. Moving in the elbow, comes forward, down. We also have a cut, so it'll twist. We have moving in the wrist, forward, back. Moving in the waist, which is pretty good. Moving in the hip. This is a very tight figure, but he does have, for some reason, the joints on my figure are very tight. But he does have articulation there, and at the knee. On this figure, yes, very cool. We do have a boot cut. Very excited. That, for me, means we get more articulation, more poses, and with the arms being able to extend out, but the legs not being able to do so, it's great that we get the boot cut on some of these figures. It means better posability overall, so I am very happy for that. For the accessories in our Night Ops Batman, they are pretty cool in that there are a couple different options that you have. So this being one of them. The suction cups work pretty good. And if we display Batman that he is supposed to be used, we've got the connection up there. It's hooked on, and then if I let him go, hopefully this works. And it works! So overall, the accessories are not so bad. The only other accessory that Batman comes with are these eye goggles, which look pretty cool. And then they do detach just like that. So they are pretty standard or basic. They should work with any Batman figure that you have from this line. So it looks pretty cool. If we take a look at our figures and their counterparts, we see that they all are relatively in scale with each other. The only difference here between our Batmen, the Hydroglider Batman's arms stick out just a little bit too much. But other than that, they are definitely in scale with each other. If we take a look at our Supermans, they are definitely the same figure. One has metallic paint, and then our new one does not. And then taking a look at the Wonder Woman figures, they look pretty cool. It's very nice to see that we get a new Wonder Woman who is battle armored, who looks very cool. They work very well together with each other. So it's definitely nice if you have the counterparts for these figures. They blend in well together. Comparing these figures with some of the other Justice League figures that we've gotten so far, Wonder Woman stands pretty good next to the Parademon and Aquaman. Superman is in pretty good scale to fight those Parademons. Flash is in pretty good scale, as well as Cyborg is. So they all are in pretty good scale with one another. So very, very cool. They are great additions. If you're collecting all the Justice League figures, you probably don't want to miss out on these. And finally, comparing these figures with just a few others, we see that the Batman vs. Superman figures are definitely in scale, and they add some great variation if you're collecting Batmans. We see that Cosmic Spider-Man is definitely true to 6-inch scale. He's a Marvel Legends. So the Justice League figures are just a little bit shorter than the true 6-inch scale. And we can see next to a movie Marvel Legends like Thor, these figures are just a little bit shorter. But all in all, they look pretty good. And there you have it, guys. Thanks a ton for watching. I really couldn't do this without you. I've been looking at my subscription numbers lately, and I can't believe all the support I'm getting. You guys are incredibly awesome, so thank you so much. Please look out for these on the shelves, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you find any more new ones, there's supposed to be an Atlantean soldier, a new parademon, a gray one, I guess. And then we got that lightning flash, and then there's a cyborg. His face is completely covered. So we got some new ones coming. And I've also heard about a 2-pack with a Batman and a blue or gray parademon that I'm trying to get my hands on. So more to come soon. Definitely stay tuned. And thanks again for watching, guys. Until then, I'll see you next time.